The Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Friday, February 21st. Precipitation the past 7 days continued bone dry again for another week across the southern half of the Great Basin. You can see that 0 to 5% of normal and that dark red extending all the way down through California and Arizona. So this has been a persistent dry spot now for probably the past 2 months. And here on the right-hand side, even the percentage of normal slightly to significantly below normal in many northern areas as well. Snowfall over the past 3 days here on the left, none in our area. Snow cover still abundant in the middle to higher elevations above about 6,000 feet. You can see here mountains of central Idaho and western Wyoming, and the Uintas, 50 inches to 75 inches of snow on the ground, and a couple of feet where you see some of these other purple to blue shades across the Rubies, higher terrain of the Wasatch, and even into the mountain peaks of southern Utah. Peters out quite a bit further down. Snowpack still in the Sierra from a very wet late fall and early winter, but they also have been in a drought, or a mini kind of a drought, for the past 4 to 8 weeks. Satellite imagery shows a pretty progressive pattern. We have a deep low pressure area now gathering strength and moisture off the southern California coast. Weak high pressure overhead will continue to provide some rather poor dispersion conditions for one more day, but even that will start to break as this low starts to move onshore. Looking at how dry things are, our 1,000-hour fuels, areas in the yellow are 11 to 15%, which is kind of dry this time of year for 1,000-hour fuels. These single-digit 1,000-hour fuels are incredibly dry for late winter. So we'll be watching this area as we progress for the next couple of weeks and months going into fire season, but these areas are considerably dry. So the upper level map for this afternoon, you can see that low pressure and its associated moisture along the central California coast, another plume being pulled up from the subtropics. And in terms of ventilation index, our days are getting longer, thankfully. So these areas in purple, the lowest or worst dispersion, are confined more to the north and east. We see developing better dispersion conditions further south and west you go. Transport winds fairly light overall. It will be the vertical mixing of several thousand feet where you see the yellow and green shades where you'll see your best overall mixing. Now on Saturday, the storm centered over Las Vegas, pulling up tons of moisture into those very dry areas that we were earlier mentioning. So southern Nevada, much of southern central Utah and Arizona Strip should see significant long-duration precipitation, and under the low also pretty good overall dispersion conditions, some lingering inversions to the far north under light winds. Winds lightest in those purple shades, but you can see the closer you get to the storm system further south, the wind speeds in the dark green and oranges suggest anywhere from 16 to 25 miles per hour. Vertical mixing a little limited due to lack of sunshine, but in those areas you'll still have pretty good vertical mixing overall, just being under low pressure a little bit more than perhaps this model suggests, and also the winds will be pretty decent as well. That storm system on Sunday quickly departs into the plain states. However, another system pushing into the Pacific Northwest will prevent a strong high pressure ridge from building in, so we're under the vicinity of low pressure. See lots of white on the map, and that's good overall dispersion. Excellent transport winds coming out of the northwest, strongest as you head further south and east. Best vertical mixing, areas in the yellow and orange shades here across western areas, also in southeastern areas as well. Still limited a bit towards the Idaho-Wyoming border. Utah clearing index, this will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. See the best conditions will be Sunday as the low system pushes in and pushes out. 3-day precipitation totals, quite significant. These areas of blue indicate a half inch to over an inch of precipitation, which should translate into 5 to 10 inches of snow across the higher terrain above about 7,000 feet. Good amounts for Nevada as well and the Arizona Strip, but dry to the north, basically little or nothing north of I-80. There will be some light precipitation over the mountains of central Idaho and western Wyoming. Into next week, on Monday, not under either low or high pressure, kind of in between, but in a strong belt of northwesterly winds. So they'll keep dispersion overall pretty good here on the ventilation index. On Tuesday, high pressure ridge building on in. So again, similar good flow coming in, maybe stagnating a little bit across far western areas. That's where we see a little bit of the red, but none of the purple As we go into Wednesday, still decent dispersion, but we don't see as much white. We see more of the red color. And then high pressure builds in overhead on Thursday. We see more of the purple shades building in through here. So dispersion, at least overnight dispersion, might start going downhill on Thursday, but during the day, plenty of sunshine should still help mix things out a little bit. So after this weekend storm hits southern areas, we expect no significant precipitation for the Great Basin for much of the next week. Further down the road, the 8 to 14-day outlook here on the right showing a very dry signal across most, if not all, of the Great Basin. Temperatures, you can call them normal, a little below normal in eastern areas, above normal in western areas, but the main theme will be dry. This concludes our briefing. Our next briefing will be this coming Monday. Have a great day.